Hey y'all, it's okay. Hey y'all, it's June 1st. I'm here at the beginning of the month. Hey y'all, it's June 1st. I'm here to do a beginning of the month tour for June of the garden. And hopefully this will be quick because I'm on my lunch break. I meant to do this earlier, but I had to water the plants, so I had to prioritize what am I gonna do. So I watered earlier and now I'm gonna try to do the quick tour. So, alright, so I changed things up a little bit. Let me back up. First of all, I put up the shade cloth because it has been over 90 every day for a while. And the forecast is showing it's June. It's spring technically, but it's summertime in Texas. So I put up these hoops to attach the shade cloth to. I also put this in the front so I could cover this area in the front with the tomato, the eggplant, and the pepper, just to give them a little bit of protection because my plants have been roasting in the sunlight. Anyway, I put my lemon tree back here to protect it. I could probably move it somewhere else now that I have the shade cloth, but I put it back here because my leaves were curling. It could have been a watering issue too, but the sun is also obviously affecting that. You know, with everything drying out so fast. So a thing I'm going to be doing over the next week, or hopefully later today actually, is adding mulch finally. I did add a layer of black cow as mulch, and that has helped a little bit, made the plants healthier, and I think it helps retain the moisture a little bit. You can see it better in this one. It's just a light layer of black cow. Anyway, while mentioning black cow, I think I may need to redo some of my pot mixes because I think I put too much black cow, which has created an issue with moisture retention and drainage. Like looking at these plants, like this is another one that was roasting in the sun, but I also think it's suffering because of my potting mix, which is mostly, or at least half black cow, which I'm thinking is too much. This is a cucumber finally coming up. So stuff is growing in it. I just feel like looking at like this water down here and down there. It's like, I don't know. It just doesn't look good. Alright. Woo. Sorry. I do have my plants up here and I put black cow too. And this kind of revived them a little bit. Those flowers are new. This stuff was looking like it was going to die. My flowers in the front that I got at the same time are way bigger. But I think being in this basket isn't good because the water just instantly drains out as I water it. So anyway, but it's under this shade cloth now, so hopefully that'll help. My tomatillo is in the back. I was trying to get it out of the sun, and it's a lot bigger, as you can see back there. That's one of my blueberries back there also. Now here's where you can see the heat damage. This plant suffered a lot. You'll notice the edges of a lot of plants have, the leaves have a lot of damage from the heat. And also water, because it's, everything's drying out faster, so they're dry, they're lacking moisture, and then they're also in the heat. So hopefully this will improve things. Another reason for the mulch is all of these volunteer plants that keep popping up. So all these volunteer plants, weeds and other, that keep popping up, I am going to put mulch to hopefully suppress those. Alright, here's the other blueberry. It has some whitish colored leaves. I was considering repotting the blueberry because of how they're looking. But Miss Linda Teenog from the New Orleans Gardener. So Teenog, So T-Nog from the New Orleans Gardener, she's going to do a special on blueberries soon, a live chat. So I'm going to be tuning into that to hopefully learn some stuff, because my blueberries are not looking that great. Alright, this is my melon bed. I have the ones in the front still that aren't that much bigger, but they are still alive. Fortunately, one of the cantaloupes was suffering a little bit. I did plant a row of watermelon and cantaloupe in the back, and none of those have come up. I have all these volunteers in here, and that's why I want to put mulch in here to suppress those. Phew. Right, here's my flower bed that has corn in the front. I'm still calling it the flower bed because it's primarily flowers, but I did put the corn, that blue popcorn. So there are several of them up here, and a few of them, well, the two big ones I transplanted, and then some of them are coming up. I planted, I think, 5 or 6. I also added some tulle to this old greenhouse frame to give a little sun protection to these plants as well. Alright, these are cucumbers down here. I forgot what kind, but it is documented, so I can figure it out by watching my previous videos. That's kind of the point of making this, to help me kind of journal my gardening experience. And also, plus, I just want to share everybody, and you know, most people don't want to hear all this stuff about gardening, but this community, I feel at home. I know we're all kind of, anyway, my point would come in close to this plant. This is the tomato that also was really having a hard time. The same issue with the soil. I don't know if it's just a bad mixture. Alright, here's my tomato sucker that I have in my compost bin. It's a lot bigger, so it is thriving in here. I try to keep this watered. It gets sunlight from early morning, about 8 a.m. until the edges of the leaves that are larger have sunlight around maybe 2 p.m. So it's about 6 hours of sunlight. So these cucumbers, there are 3 plants in here. I'm not sure which they are, but the leaves are very, very light. I did add a layer of black cow in here, and that did seem to help a little bit. These newer leaves look a little bit darker, but it's still not how it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna use some 511. I have these flowers here too, and they're doing a little bit better. These flowers are doing a little bit better after adding some black cow. And still my oregano. I don't. So the strawberries, and I was messing with this last night, but they're doing okay. I haven't added a shade cloth to this area, but I will soon. That's why I have this frame around this greenhouse frame. Oops. You can kind of see the frame. Alright, my grapevine is still alive. I'm still changing the water. It does have roots in there. I don't know if you can see the roots, but there are roots in there. I'll lift it a little. So yeah, it has roots. And these newer leaves, these look like new leaves. They're not brown and curling on the end like these other leaves, the older leaves. There's some stuff I still need to put in a permanent place, a pot or a raised bed. Also this pepper and these plants. The same stuff I had on my mid-May update. I added some soil in here. I'm gonna put flowers, or I planted some flowers. Hopefully they'll actually come up. But it's that same mix that I think is too much black cow. I don't think there's enough drainage, soil retention. I don't know. I just think it's not looking like the best soil for growing. This is the felled strawberry patch, and I'm going to clear this out soon. Some other leftover plants I need to put somewhere. A tomato. I think this is a spaghetti squash. And of course my peppers. I harvested the other peppers except for the poblano pepper. I left that one to let it get bigger. I had to all the banana peppers and moving the one. I don't see any jalapeno. Well, there was a jalapeno. Whoops. Alright, so there is some growth in here. Lots of volunteers that I need to give away or just compost. All of this whole bush is volunteer peppers. No idea what kind, because I had like 4 or 5 different peppers in this bed last year. And then I have a bunch of onions down here, and they're not really, well, they're here. I think they'll be alright. And these huge onions are the ones I got from my pantry that were growing. So they were red onions that started growing green, so I just put them in the ground. And 2 of them survived. I still have these volunteer watermelon in here. I'm going to get rid of these and put something in here to not at some point this week. One of the volunteers is down there and is much bigger, and it has flowers, but no female flowers. But I'm letting it live. Then this still hasn't been cleaned out yet. I have the marigolds at the top, but the rest of this is going to be changed. I have this tomato. This is 2 tomatoes in here. No fruit yet, I don't think, that I've seen. Flowers, but no fruit, but it's hot. I don't actually have the shade cloth covering this area, so I might move this or just try to figure out how to add something to cover it. I have mint, and that's obviously grass in there that I'm gonna have to pick out. Alright, so here's just a view from a little bit further away to show the hoops that I added. Then I have these poles in the front, all for the sake of attaching the shade cloth to help with the heat. And I've used shade cloth every year since I've been gardening, which was, I started in 2020. It was immediately obvious that I had to do something if I was gonna be able to grow in the summer. It's just that hot in Texas. Anyway, I still have a lot to do, but it is nice to see everything kind of filling in and getting bigger. And I do actually have fruit. I have harvested fruit, vegetables, as well as strawberries. Looking forward to when, I have more stuff. Alright, y'all, so this was my June 1st outdoor garden update. Thanks for watching.